The hate needs to stop.
Prepare yourself, Dan Saiyan.
Smash that like button, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you never miss a video. I've tried my best to ignore these comments. I've tried my best just to look over them and, you know, kind of put them at a distance, not really entertaining them. But with me covering the fusion, the what if fusion of a male and female in Goku Trains Caulifla, with me giving my take on it, the comments have gotten more and more numerous, and people are just being completely ignorant and not listening to what I have to say. So I'm going to tell you guys one last time and explain to you guys what I'm talking about and exactly what I mean, on top of giving you guys examples of it being done in Dragon Ball and even a Dragon Ball fan manga that shows this concept, and that is the fusion between 17 and 18. Now, I did talk about the fusion between 17 and 18 a little bit, but I mainly was talking about Caulifla fusing with Kaba as a what if. And that's where most of the comments came from. And a lot of them, again, extremely nasty and extremely ignorant, talking about, you know, we don't want this type of warrior, and, you know, what would it be, like a mixture of both? What is this Steven Universe? And that was probably the last straw, because for me, Steven Universe is by far one of the best cartoons that has come out of Cartoon Network in years. And it does have its down slopes. It doesn't have a perfect track record, but it is really entertaining and has a really cool set of concepts that just come straight out of Dragon Ball, specifically fusion. And the way they do it on Steven Universe is the proper way to do it. Okay, only a select few of you are going to understand that joke, but if you do, you are the motherfucking squad. The concept of 18 and 17 fusing came out of Dragon Ball Heroes, where they were forcefully united, where 18 was united with 17 or Super 17, which essentially just made a Super 17 with blonde hair and a stronger moveset, and that is basically it. There really wasn't much of a transformation between these two, because it only seemed like 18 was absorbed by 17. So in that context, there really wasn't a fusion of both characters. Now, when we go into Dragon Ball Super, they had one moment in Dragon Ball Super where they talked about fusing these two characters. The fact that they were twins, they were the perfect ones to fuse together. They would come up with the perfect fusion, a fusion with infinite stamina, all the power of 17, all the wit of 18. It would be tremendous and it would have been cool, but it didn't happen, and we moved on from that concept. But the Dragon Ball community is just an amazing community, specifically the fan art and fan manga community, and they could not look past this. And there is a plethora of art out there that combines both characters into one unified warrior, and in these artworks we get a really cool combined warrior that has the outfits of both characters. Most of the time I would say that the character that comes out looks slightly more feminine, feminine, and people are wondering what is the sex of this fusion when it comes to them uniting together, and does that spell the answer for fusions in the future when a male and a female fuse together? As always, like people have been asking me and I have been answering them, I would take the Steven Universe approach, that the one with the greater personality, just like in the fusions from Dragon Ball, the one with the greater personality determines the sex of the fusion. It isn't a fusion where they have parts from both characters. No, we address with one sex and then the personalities of both warriors are in that sex. That is the greatest answer that we can have for these what if fusions, because we need to get past, as a whole, especially younger viewers and younger audience members here, we need to get past this whole notion that ew, gross, you know, they're combined and one's a female, one's a male, what are they gonna make? No, that is completely outdated thinking, guys, and we need to look into the future and become more mature. And that is why I am pissed off as to those comments. I try not to respond to any of those comments because I wanted to kind of just make a video and give you guys my perspective on this male and female fusion, because I do think that it goes with the majority of that personality. Now, when it comes to 17 and 18, a lot of people would say that 17 has the greater personality, but I find that completely and 100% untrue, because if we look at the lifespan of Dragon Ball, the character that has more characterization, has a stronger will, and has shown herself time and time again to be a headstrong warrior, a headstrong mother, and a headstrong partner is 18. 17 was more of a go with the flow kind of character. He loved to play around, he loved to goof around, but at the end of the day, 18, even though she seemed to be following him, she seemed to be calling most of the shots of where they went. She pulled him to go clothes shopping, she pulled him to go do this and do that, and now that she is one of the Z fighters and a mother, you can see that she is the one that is headstrong. I mean, look at this moment when she meets 17 and 17 meets his niece for the first time.
Hello, Uncle!
Oh, wow. I can't believe how big you've gotten. Maroon?
That's Marin. If you get it wrong again, you're dead.
You got a scary mommy. Sorry I said it wrong, Marin.
So in a what if fusion between 17 and 18, whether it be through fusion dance or Potara, I would say 100% that the main personality, the heavy personality in that fusion is going to be 18. Now 18 means that the fusion will come out female. That is my perspective. I think that that fusion specifically would come out female, similar to how I said that the Caulifla and Kaba fusion would come out female as well, because Kaba isn't as dominant a personality as Caulifla. So I believe that they would come up with a brand new female warrior. So with that said, I have probably the most interesting version of this fusion in a Dragon Ball fan manga that you guys probably would have never thought of in a million years, because we normally think when it comes to fusion, Potara or fusion dance, this is probably the most unique fusion that I've ever seen, and I am completely in love with this manga. So this one is coming out of Harlem Dusk, and what we're seeing here is quite literally the inside anatomical structure of Cell right before Gohan kicks him and he spits out 18. So that is the premise of this Dragon Ball fan manga. I'm gonna have a link to it in the description below and the top comment. So the inside of Cell basically works like a machine. It is saying that the perfect state is compromised, containment unit compromised, perfect state unstable. So basically what happened when Gohan was beating the shit out of Cell. And as you can see right inside Cell, there you have 18 and 17, the two androids that he absorbed. And I would say that realistically, this is probably how they are inside of him. Now, if they're life size, that's up to you guys to determine, but I don't believe so. At least not until this moment when he became unstable. They probably grew at that point, and that is the reason he got really big. But once he's normal, I think they probably end up shrinking, but they're probably just kind of floating around him, inside of him like that. And right now we're seeing that his perfect form is collapsing. The inside of Cell is saying do not sustain any further damage, but unfortunately, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan has other plans and kicks him right in the stomach, which is the death blow. And this is the blow that makes the body eject one of the androids, and it's trying to choose which android to eject, 18 or 17. But his body cannot choose which one to shoot out, so what it ends up doing is initiating protocol Lapis Lazuli, and what we see here inside of Cell is that it combines both characters into one character, fusing them together inside of Cell because it cannot choose which one to spit out. Now, as Gohan looks on shockingly, Cell spits out what is Android 35, both of them combined, mixed together. Because this is a completely biological way that they are fused together, they are quite literally fused together in the way that, you know, people might think. And to me, that's 100% fine. I just didn't like the way that people were portraying it as a negative when, in my opinion, it 100% is not. So that is the ending of this Dragon Ball fan manga by Harlem Dusk. If you made it to this point of the video, you are now part of the hashtag End of Video Squad. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Make sure to drop that comment with that hashtag for a chance to be featured in my next video. Today I'm going to be responding to JJ Teniente. It would be interesting, Broly versus Moro. That would be fire if they fight. It would be a very cool fight, but it would be very similar to what I was saying where it was Moro versus Kale, where, you know, Kale is basically just a buffet for Moro. Broly would be the same thing, and so sending Broly against Moro is a bad idea in my opinion, because that's just giving Moro more to snack on and become more powerful. Anyway, thank you so much for your comment. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.